The Haunting of Two Sisters, a horror story of sibling rivalry, possession, and dark secrets. In a long-forgotten corner of a desolate town stood a mansion that had been abandoned for years. To most people, it was nothing more than a creepy relic of the past, but to Eva and Clara, it was home. Eva, the older sister, had always been the perfect one. Intelligent, beautiful, and loved by everyone. Clara, the younger sister, had always lived in Eva's shadow, feeling invisible and unimportant. But the house they lived in was more than just a home. It was steeped in dark secrets, secrets that had been passed down through generations of their family. And as the rivalry between the sisters grew, so did the malevolent force that had been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This is the story of two sisters, a dark curse, and a terrifying evil that was awakened by their jealousy. The discovery. Clara had always felt like she was living in her sister's shadow. Eva had everything. She was adored by their parents, praised by their friends, and had a perfect life in every way. Clara, on the other hand, felt lost and forgotten. Despite her own talents, she was always overshadowed by Eva's perfection. One evening, while wandering the mansion's neglected attic, Clara stumbled upon something strange. A dusty old book hidden beneath a pile of old furniture. It was bound in dark leather, the pages yellowed with age, and it radiated an energy that made Clara's skin prickle. The book was filled with ancient rituals and dark incantations, most of which she couldn't understand. But there was one that caught her eye, a ritual that promised to give the practitioner power, strength, and control, power to change the course of their life. In her frustration, Clara whispered the words of the incantation, not fully understanding what she was doing. As she did, a cold wind swept through the attic, extinguishing the candle she held in her hand. The house seemed to groan with a strange, unsettling energy. But nothing happened. Or so Clara thought. The change. The following morning, Clara noticed something strange about Eva. Her sister, who had always been warm and loving, suddenly seemed distant. Her smile no longer reached her eyes, and there was something off about her. It was subtle at first, little things like the way Eva spoke or how her eyes lingered just a little too long on Clara. At first, Clara tried to dismiss it. After all, Eva had always been the golden child, and maybe she was just tired from all the attention she received. But as days passed, the changes became more pronounced. Eva's once gentle demeanor had shifted to something colder, more predatory. And then the strange events began. Clara would hear footsteps in the hall when she was alone. She would feel cold drafts even in the middle of summer. And at night, she could swear she heard whispers, voices calling her name from the shadows. When she went to check, there was never anyone there. But the worst part was Eva. It was as if her sister was slowly being replaced by something else. Something evil. Her eyes would glow with an unnatural light, and sometimes Clara would see her sister standing in the hallway, staring at her with a twisted, predatory smile. Clara felt like she was losing her mind, and she knew something was wrong. But she had no idea how deep the darkness ran. The possession. One night, Clara woke to the sound of Eva's voice calling her name. But when she followed the sound into the hallway, she was frozen with fear. Eva was standing there, but her face was no longer her own. It was as if something had taken over her body. The skin of her face was stretched tight, her eyes black as coal, and her smile twisted into something inhuman. "Eva?" Clara whispered, her voice trembling. Eva, if it was even Eva anymore, turned toward her, and in a voice that was not her own, she laughed. "You shouldn't have done it, Clara. Now you've released me. Now I'm free." Clara tried to back away, but she was frozen in place. The house seemed to close in around her, the walls echoing with whispers. "You thought you could control me," the voice continued, "but I was already inside of you, waiting." Clara realized the truth. The ritual she had performed had opened a door to something far darker than she could have ever imagined. The book hadn't just awakened an entity, it had allowed it to possess Eva, feeding off the rivalry and jealousy between the sisters. The entity had been biding its time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Clara had made a terrible mistake. The descent into darkness. As the days passed, the entity's hold over Eva grew stronger. She became more violent, more erratic. She would lash out at Clara, taunting her with cruel words and even attacking her physically, her strength unnatural. The mansion itself seemed to come alive with the evil force that now inhabited it. Doors sliced,